Hello, everyone. Today's webinar, Baking Success, a Strategic Approach to Personal and Professional Well-Being, Systems Thinking, will begin in about 1 minute. While you're waiting, be sure to register for our upcoming webinars. Next in the IDDBA webinar series, we have 2 presentations lined up for you tomorrow, Thursday, March 14th. First off, at 11 a.m. Central, join Mark Farrand, Decision Next for the Deli Commodity Outlook. Then at 1 p.m. Central, we have a Flavor Connect session with Linda Avila of Presenter and Reginald Pearson of Specs Wine, Spirits, and Finer Foods for the Amish Flavor Connection. Deli associates, cheesemongers, and enthusiasts, get your study caps on. Registration is open for the 2024 in-person charcuterie professional certification exam, the IDDBA show, in Houston, Texas. This will take place on June 8th at 10 a.m. Central at the George R. Brown Convention Center. Reach out to education@iddba.org for more information. Welcome, everyone. I'm Karen Tingleb-Hansen, Education Assistant at IDDBA. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Baking Success, a Strategic Approach to Personal and Professional Well-Being, Systems Thinking. A couple of reminders before we get started. Please submit any questions using the Q&A button. We'll answer as many as possible at the end of the presentation. The recording of this webinar will be available to members to view on iddba.org. Now I'd like to introduce today's presenter, Odette D'Aniello. With over 25 years of experience in the specialty food industry, she is the founder and CEO of Celebrity Gourmet Ventures Incorporated under the brands Celebrity Cake Studio and Dragonfly Cakes. This is a company that makes delicious and beautifully designed desserts for various occasions and markets. She is also the host of Celebrity Gourmet Podcast, a show that features inspiring stories and insights from successful entrepreneurs and leaders in the bakery and specialty foods industry. Odette, thank you for joining us. Oh, got to unmute, sorry.
Thank you for having me, Karen. And good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. I know that it's a busy morning, so I would love to make sure that this webinar has some key takeaways that'll help you with your personal and professional well-being. My name is Odette D'Aniello. Like Karen said, I'm the founder and CEO of Celebrity Gourmet Ventures. This is a little bit about me. I had a bakery in Tacoma, Washington with my sister, Mary Ann, and we run it with a team of amazing cake designers and artisans. I'm a fourth generation bakery owner, and my why in offering these webinars is because from my experience, it is very difficult to be in the specialty food space, the bakery space. It's literally a lifestyle. And for you to stay in it for a long time, you have to really have the love for the industry, the love for the trade, the love for the art, and also have some key actions in your pocket to help you sustain your energy and your well-being so that you can continue on with the day-to-days of running your business or working in your companies. So like I said, I own a bakery, so I'm in the thick of things. I'm not a theoretical person. This is a public service announcement for me, and I do this on my own time and with I have no ulterior motives other than to help the industry. So thank you so much for being here. And today, we're going to be talking about embracing systems thinking for personal and professional well-being. I'm a big reader, so a few weeks back or a few months back, I read a book called Systems Thinking, and it was by a woman named Donella Meadows. She was a very important academic, and she really was the person that saw how our entire world is run by systems, and that in order to improve the world, improve our lives, we have to think in these systemic ways. So I love this quote. It says, "We can't impose our will on a system. We can listen to what the system tells us and discover how its properties and our values can work together to bring forth something much better that could ever be produced by our will alone." So a lot of times we think that we live in this world by ourselves, but we actually live in this incredible net of interconnections with other people, other places, other things, other circumstances. So this thought pattern is what I'm basing this webinar on, because it really does apply to personal and professional well-being. So what is systems thinking and why it's important? D'Aniello Meadows was a pioneering environmental scientist, author, teacher, a farmer. She was a very influential figure in the field of sustainability. So really her concept is about sustainable way of making, of living, so that we can continue to thrive as a human species. Systems thinking is seeing life as a whole versus in parts, and understanding situations, processes, events, and phenomena from an integrated perspective rather than in separate parts. I actually was introduced to D'Aniello's work back decades ago when we met a person, and we were vacationing in Hawaii, and my little son made friends with a family, and the grandfather, was actually the head of an organization called the Club of Rome. And that Club of Rome is the pioneer for really thinking about what growth means. So it was very cool that when I found D'Aniello Meadows, she was actually the co-author of the Limits of Growth. And then I just kind of, me being a lot non-linear thinker, thought, hey, that really applies to like my life and the way we run our businesses, and how we work ourselves sometimes to the ground without thinking how it impacts all the parts of our lives when we ignore our well-being. So systems thinking is like cake making. And those are my little drawings. I used to be a second grade teacher, so you could see how I draw. And you know what? I couldn't find any other photos. So this entire webinar is my little sketches. So enjoy. So systems thinking is like cake making. Think of what it takes to make a beautiful cake. You need ingredients like flour, milk, egg, sugar, butter, and milk again. Oh, I put milk twice. And then the baker, right? The baker mixes the ingredients and puts it in the oven and makes this beautiful cake. All of them play a crucial role in baking a perfect cake. That's how systems thinking that's what systems thinking teaches us. Things are interconnected. Our lives are full of ingredients and they influence each other. And I just wanted to play this little video because I thought it was cute. So all of this was a little event that we did. And these are all the ingredients to make a cake. We brought in some icing, we brought cakes, and we brought our decorator, Kayla. So all of this were parts of a system to make a cake for about 500 people. It was an event for a big company. And that's all of this we needed. And it's all structured so that it's easy for people to get to places and to do things. And all of them worked out. So how does this apply to your life? So our life is like a cake, and it's made up of ingredients. We too have different aspects that make us whole human beings. These ingredients include our personal lives, our family lives, our work, our health, our community, our playing or recreation, money, and our friends. So all of this are ingredients that make up a good life, like a good cake. So this is a graphic that I drew myself, but it's actually was a life balance sheet. That's where it came from. But I thought, oh, that looks like slices of cake. So when you think about your life or our lives, all our actions and our actions and decisions, look at it as slices of cake and see what parts are fulfilled and what parts need attention. So and all of this, the shaded parts are all the energy that you put into your lives, right? So sometimes when you put in a lot of energy to life, then there's a lot of satisfaction in it. And when there's less energy, there's less satisfaction. So you could see that the wheel is a bit imbalanced. I made this up. This is not necessarily my wheel, but I just made it up. So, living a life that's super busy and not having enough recreation may cause burnout. Or you can focus on a lot of money, but then not your health. Then you might get sick, but be very rich. We want to live life as a whole cake and not as lopsided pieces. Recognize that high workloads, for example, may sacrifice relationships and friendships, or you may need to focus more on your health and well-being in order to live a more fulfilled life. Now, Donella Meadows talks about leverage points. Leverage points are the small changes that can have outsized impacts on both your professional and personal well-being. This could involve delegating tasks at work to reduce stress and create more time for personal activities, or implementing mindfulness practices to enhance focus and overall decision-making. And this graphic right here is what I drew. So a leverage point really is like a balance, like a seesaw, right? So one on the left side is your life. In order for you, if you're in a down cycle, what small actions can you do that could immediately impact or raise your energy a little bit higher? And so in a system like this, all the way to the right, the more that the least amount of effort is seeing from a different perspective. Because you see, if that's all the way up to at the top, very top, if you change your perspective just even a little bit, it could lift up your life or your energy. So that's how you think of systems as leverage points. You could change your physical location, you could quit your job, you could quit your marriage, but if your perspective stays the same, your life is still going to be in the doldrums. You could change your habits. That could be, that's a little bit more impactful. You could change, your goals. That could be that's even more impactful than behaviors. If you change your mindset, that's super impactful. And then when you change your perspective, that is most impactful, because that's the least amount of effort made for the highest change. Now, when you see your life as a holistic perspective, in this holistic perspective, really think, take a holistic approach to it rather than in parts and pieces. Recognize that success in one area should not come at the expense of another. For example, I bought my business right when I wasn't pregnant yet. I mean, my husband and I didn't have children. We opened our business when we didn't have children yet. And then we had our first child, and then we really had to pivot and figure out what our priorities were, because now we added to our pie with family, right? So we had a lot of energy for work, but now we have this baby to raise. So we had to formulate ways in order for me and my husband and my sister and my cousin Wallace to be able to thrive in our business, but still take care of our little baby, who is now 23, by the way. So we decided we're going to stay small. We're going to specialize. We were a little cafe that served lunch and breakfast. We're like, not going to do that. We're only going to be a cake place. And that really helped us, because it gave us some energy and time to be with our baby. And she was able to grow up in this environment where she was well cared for. And we weren't as stressed out, because now we're not serving breakfast or lunch. We pivoted our business so that we can make time for her and our family. And we also made time for each other, going on vacations together and all that, just so to balance out the pie of our life. So that's basically an example of how to see your life as a holistic perspective. Another example is when I was raising my little kids, I was given a chance to open up other locations and places. They were like, oh, you could open up here and there. Malls were really looking for tenants. And I was like, well, my priority are my children. If I open up somewhere else and if people don't go to work, I'm going to have to drive through traffic 2 hours in order to work. And then who's going to take care of my kids? So I opted not to do that. And to this day, we have grown our business not through opening up new locations, but really being focused and prioritize so that we have time for ourselves and our family. Now, finding balance. We want to find balance between our personal and professional lives. We strive for balance by setting boundaries between work and personal life, prioritizing self-care, nurturing relationships, and pursuing activities that bring fulfillment and joy outside of work. So one of the ways to strive for balance for me is I run the business with my family. So we have a chat. So we have a chat for leadership, and that's all business. And we also have a chat for our family. So all of our family chats go into the super family chat, and then all of the business chat goes into the leadership chat. So there's no crisscrossing of things. And my sister and I are also partners. So when we talk, we're like, all right, we're talking as partners. We're not talking as sisters. So it's not crisscrossing. We prioritize self-care. My sister is a gym rat. She loves to go to the gym. I love to go for a walk and hikes. We prioritize our time alone, our self-care, because that is the only way we can conjure up all the energy in order to run our businesses. We also nurture relationships with ourselves, with our friends. We take time for going to dinner with each other. We take time, my sister and I have long talks on the phone, not about business, but just about, what's happening around, our family or ourselves or what's within us. This is especially important if, like, there's a lot of things, a lot of challenges that go in families, right? Like there's, we raised our families while running a business. We took care of our sick parent, we took care of sick parents. We had to really prioritize our relationships above our businesses. So in order to do that, there has to be clear boundaries. And also we want to pursue activities that bring us joy. I love to garden. I love to travel. I love to draw and write. And, those things bring balance into the wheel of your life. Now, to be integrated, you want to embrace a mindset that is whole rather than separate. You want to seek alignment between your professional goals and personal values to achieve sustainable success and fulfillment in your personal and professional life. Like, you don't want to just have a goal of, growing a, multi-million-dollar business, but then what does that really mean? Does that mean you have to leverage your family assets? Does that mean, you have to sacrifice your time with your family or your friends? Does that mean will that compromise your health because you're now on the road all the time and not being able to exercise or eat good food? So really think about the impact that one decision will have on another decision. Think about, what if I do this, how will it impact the entire system of my life, my personal, my family, my work, my health, my community, the recreation time, my money, and my friends. Now, here's some action steps for well-being for you and for others. You want to conduct a personal systems audit, right? Identify areas of imbalance or stress in your life and your bakery or professional management approach. I just said bakery because I was talking to really bakery professionals, which is me, right? You want to implement changes to promote personal well-being within your daily routine, such as setting boundaries, practicing self-care, or prioritizing time for relaxation. And you want to integrate mindfulness and meditation practices into your personal and professional life. A change in mindset is the highest leverage point in changing a system. So for me, my mindfulness and meditation practice really sets me up for the day. It allows me to really feel, how I want to be, how I want my day to look like. And it gives me that, reboot and perspective, especially during stressful times. Number 4, develop a personal development plan that aligns with your professional goals and values, utilizing systems thinking principles to guide your growth journey. When you're setting up your goals, for the year, maybe your sales goal or your, just your professional goals, think about how it'll impact all the other parts of your life. And then think it through to see if, within 5 years, you're going to be happy with that decision. And number 5, share your experiences and insights with others in the bakery and specialty food community. Offer support and guidance and encouragement to your fellow professionals seeking to integrate systems thinking and well-being into their own lives and businesses. Talk about it, just ask people, so, if your goal is this, how will that impact your marriage? How will that impact your health? How will that impact your family? How will that impact all the other parts of your business? Will you be able to travel for leisure? Will you be able to play? What you don't want is to, at the end of your life, for people to only talk about how hard you worked. I actually went to, a memorial of somebody I knew who was part of the industry. And it's, I noticed that all the people who went up were her coworkers. They were just really, appreciative of how she stayed late during her time working for this particular organization. And then the rest of the family, they talked about how late they waited for her every single night because she would, stay late overtime all the time. And I was like, well, you know what? I would really like that to not be me. I would like to, be known as somebody who was present and fully there and having fun with, my in work and in my personal life. So that's the reason why this whole, concept of systems thinking has been very, very interesting to me. And I hope it has been to you too. And, my name is Odette. If you want to just chat with me about, this particular presentation, you can just send me an email and I'll give you an accompanying workbook, which I've made. Or you could listen to my podcast at celebritygourmet.com or connect with me on LinkedIn under Odette D'Aniello. So I'm hoping that this was of value to you, and thank you for spending the past 20 minutes with me here at the IDDBA webinar series.
Thank you so much, Odette. I've got some questions for you.
Sure.
What are some common challenges people face when trying to adopt a systems thinking approach to their personal and professional lives?
Yeah, so one of the main challenge that I have for myself is having this like linear thought of, I want to control outcomes. So I'm only going to focus on my job because I want to get that promotion, and really having this like very narrow point of view. When you have a narrow point of view, it's very hard to take in all of the other inputs of the people around you. So when you're, a lot of people who are so focused on their work, they don't necessarily notice like, oh, look, I haven't spent time with my husband or my wife. I haven't spent time with my children. And, I'm gaining weight. And it's because, this tunnel vision that's a big challenge, and, seeking to control outcomes, or just not prioritizing health, right? Just because it is something that you could really ignore. And these are small, minute little actions that don't necessarily mean anything today at this moment, but compounded, it becomes a huge issue. So having either a narrow point of view or just a very short-term point of view and not seeing how every single decision of your life impacts everything else, because there is a reaction to every action. So that's what I would say to that.
Great. Let's see here. When it comes to implementing small changes for personal well-being, could you provide some examples of actionable steps that individuals can easily incorporate into their daily routine?
Yeah. So what I do, I have a mindfulness practice. One of the things that I have really implemented is just closing my eyes in between things. So like when I arrive at my business, or when I transitioning from one task to another, I close my eyes and just breathe in and breathe out and kind of see who I am and what I'm doing at that moment, and just really set good intentions so that I know where I am, how I'm standing, and my impact of the people around me and my decisions on all the other parts of my life. So that is a really, like, it's a 2-second thing when you close your eyes and just set like just a reset of your mind and heart. So that's what I do.
I really like that idea of just resetting. I'm going to use that myself.
Yeah.
You mentioned conducting a personal systems audit. Could you elaborate on what that entails and how individuals can effectively carry it out?
Yeah, so that wheel that I have is very easy to replicate. You just basically make a wheel and have you cut it into slices of 8, and you add those ingredients around it, your personal, your family, your money, your friends, your community, and your recreation or play, and color it in, divide it into 10 parts, color it in, and see, where am I full, right? Where is it a whole piece of me that's within it, that's filling up this particular slice of my life? Or where is it lopsided? And focus on, why is it lopsided and how can I correct that? For example, if you're super rich, like you have a lot of money, but then you have aches and pains, you have diabetes or whatever it is, it's like, what brought me to this point of being rich and being sick? And ask yourself why, right? And I also think, I do a personal audit because, yeah, I'm very happy with all the other parts, but why do I get so frustrated easily? Well, it's because I haven't set up time to play. Everything is just work. So I really just think it is very easy to see it as a cake for me, and then just cut it into pieces and see what is a whole piece and what is half or less than half a piece, and then figure out why that is and fill it in.
Okay. Well, let's see. I'm not seeing other questions except for this last one here. In your opinion, what role do community and social connections play in achieving personal and professional well-being, and how can individuals strengthen those relationships?
Oh my gosh. So I feel like, I don't know if you guys have seen the series The Blue Zones. It's on Netflix. It's amazing. So a lot of those what I took away from that is that community is what keeps these, centenarians living long, because they have this web of support within their communities. And they have, when your neural net is validated, when your reality is validated by others, it really lightens up the load. So community connections, friendships, and, contributing to the greater good impacts us in a way that is really, it seems counterintuitive, because it does take away energy to be around all these people. But when you're in a community, that community gives energy back. And when you are validated, and when you are listened to, and when you're seen, and when you support others too, it really becomes more of a give and take of energy. And all of life is give and take of energy, right? We breathe in, we breathe out. Everything in life is a system. We don't live as an island. We are all connected with other people, other things, other places. We're even connected, to our towns, all of that, the land that we live in. So when we are with others, it really shows us that we're not islands unto ourselves. We're part of a whole, and we belong. And that sense of belonging contributes to our well-being.
That is really awesome. And just want to let everyone know that IDDBA 2024 is coming up soon in June, and it's going to be in Houston. And that is an excellent opportunity for building your work community, finding mentors and other people who can support you. So just remember that networking is a huge part of IDDBA 2024. Odette, I'm not seeing any other questions coming in right now, so I want to thank you very much for this wonderful presentation, and hopefully we can all remember to take some time for ourselves to figure out what our priorities are. If you're interested in presenting an IDDBA webinar or a Flavor Connect sampling webinar, please contact us at webinars@iddba.org or fill out the application form on our webinars page at iddba.org under the Trend Center tab. Thanks everyone for attending and for your continued support of IDDBA. Have a great rest of your day.
Have a great day, everybody. Take care. Thanks, Karen. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
There's no better venue for a brand like ours to be able to invite customers, find new customers, and show them our wares. I mean, this is a great venue, great show.
It's been a tremendous joy to be here, and something for a small company, a family business, where you come meet people, and we've met some really good retailers, right from Trader Joe's, Sam's Club, to smaller retailers, but everybody's been very welcoming, and we've had some really good conversations.
You get to get in front of a large audience, right? They all come to us. We don't have to go everywhere. It's in a central location. And what's nice about it is every year it goes to a different spot in the U.S. where we can reach more customers.
We're very proud to be part of IDDBA because it has opened us a lot of opportunities in retail, in in-store bakeries to present our macaron lines to key buyers. For me, attending IDDBA is like attending the best bakery show of the year in the USA. So many opportunities, it's really my favorite show.
The foot traffic has been high for all 3 days. The breadth of people in the industry, whether it's retailers, brokers, manufacturers, was great. I mean, it's a well-attended show.
Yeah, we love participating in the IDDBA because we think it's a great opportunity to meet very good people to discuss about to develop our product in the market in the United States. And then I think it's maybe 7 years that we participate with the IDDBA, and we are very happy to be here.